Really spectacular
It
weather.
makes it so nice.
The only thing if it were my birthday and I were getting wishes, 4-foot rollers for the final moto.
Yeah, that would be good.
Everybody around here,
We could use
not all the
those.
riders, everybody else is going, yeah.
Well, Lake
Let's see
Michigan
it.
is certainly capable of delivering that, as we've seen in the past,
Oh, yes.
but not this weekend. And I think our riders are largely okay with that.
Keep that Kringle down.
Oh, God. Chris Kringle.
All right, well, we got a lot of them. Let's talk about them. On the number 1 machine out of Charlotte, North Carolina, sponsored by Judge Motorsports, Broward Motorsports, IPD Graphics. I'm going to go through it one time. ADA Racing, Fly Racing, Jet Trim, Jam Racing, Amsoil, Bomber Eyewear, and JC Racing, Jimmy Wilson.
Boat number 10 out of Apex, North Carolina, riding for Hurricane Racing and Amsoil. That's Callaway Turner.
Yeah, riders, please throw your hand up in the air so the fans know who you are. Out of Cooper City, Florida, on the number 13 machine, sponsored by Broward Motorsports, Judge Motorsports, Exotic Signs, Shoei Jet Pilot, Hamilton's Jet Lift, and Jet Trim, Sammy Niemi.
Boat number 15 out of High Point, North Carolina, riding for STB Racing, Hurricane Racing, Amsoil, Jet Dynamics, Fly Racing, and Rock Tape, Matthew Richuk.
Out of Muckwonago, Wisconsin. Yeah, I can say Muckwonago, but not Wisconsin. On the number 102 Yamaha, sponsored by Works Plumbing and Tom Ski, Justin Trader. Trader fans over there.
Out of Wadsworth, Illinois, riding for Wendrix Real Estate, Ultimate Watercraft, Sportland, Bel Ray, IPD, and Jet Renew. That's Mike Wendrix.
On the 296 Yamaha out of Port Charlotte, Florida, sponsored by WCP, Jet Lift, Action Jet Sports, Jersey Mike Subs, IPD, Abaco Sunglasses, Commander Industries, Skeleton Motorsports, and
Jet Trim, Kawasaki, Brett Underhill.
Out of Leno Lakes, Minnesota, Yamaha mounted on the 419, sponsored by Hanson Sports, Extreme Max Products, Jeff Hansen.
Number 425 out of Dawsonville, Georgia, on the Laird Performance Watercraft, Jet Dynamics Yamaha, Wyatt Hayes.
Out of Omaha, Nebraska, on the Yamaha, sponsored by Swanson Racing and Compass Construction, on the 527, Brian Panks and Conelson.
And number 918 out of Eagle, Wisconsin, on the Kawasaki, Paul Harding.
That wraps up the field for the Pro-Am Ski Stock. Aha. Maybe we're getting our wish here. I see some of the larger boats coming back and forth. Maybe we're going to get that. I wonder if they're listening to us out there.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I know the rider to keep an eye on is boat number 1 on the inside pole position. That's going to be Jimmy Wilson, and he has absolutely dominated racing today. And the defending national champion riding for Judge Motorsports is really the odds-on favorite to take the overall here today in Pro-Am Stock Ski.
Well, no question about that, but boy, let's not forget about Matthew Richuk or Jeb Zarzauer. Zarzauer going out and doing that freestyle, now right back in the thick of it in Pro-Am skiing.
Well, Jimmy Wilson does not get a great jump this moto, but nonetheless, he is going to charge into that first turn. Is he going to hang on? No, he does not get the lead. Got a bad jump out of the gate.
That looks like Skellett.
And that is Skellett out in front with the hole shot on the inside.
On the outside, Matthew Richuk, I believe.
That is Richuk indeed.
Where's Wilson? Wilson in second. Oh, Skellett lost it.
Goes the wrong way.
Oh,
Wilson into the lead. Wilson now makes the turn. Here comes Richuk. And
well, that was unfortunate.
oh, that was weird.
Yeah, boy, I feel for Mr. Skellett there. Well, Zarzauer got pushed way back. Looked like he was getting a pretty strong start. Well, out in front, haven't heard this today, Jimmy Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson got a terrible jump, at least as far as Jimmy Wilson is concerned, but nonetheless works his way into the lead very quickly, largely due to the mistake by Hayden Skellett, unfortunately.
Yeah, he rectified that right away. Bye. So we got Wilson, Richuk. Who we got in the third spot out there, Rick?
Hard to see right now. I believe that's Paul Harding, 918.
Oh, if it's the 918, that's definitely Harding.
But some of these numbers a little hard to identify.
Richuk going for the inside, and Wilson looks over. He was just kind of cruising, and look at Matthew Richuk putting it down. Richuk going wide, Wilson going tight. Wow, looking at the points there. Richuk, the only one that's got a strong possibility of beating Jimmy Wilson in this. He'd have to finish first. Wilson would have to finish significantly back. And Richuk going to make a pass on Wilson. Richuk inside, outside. He's jumping the wake. Here comes Richuk on the outside. Wilson looks over. There's nothing he can do. And Richuk goes down in the tray.
Well, Jimmy Wilson out in front, and I think he is not riding as hard as he possibly can here in Moto number 3. He's got a couple wins under his belt. He's going to have a think about this. He has got a knockdown, drag-out battle coming up in Pro Ski GP in just a little while.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Rick Lake, as we're watching Jimmy conserve his energy here. You know, it's late in the day. He's had 2 days of racing, might be getting some cramps going on. You know, these are guys in great shape, but still, this much physical effort, there's consequences when you put out this kind of energy.
Yeah, and he, like I said, he's got Mike Klippenstein and Craig Warner waiting for him in just a couple of races. And so, he's going to do what it takes to win. There's no question about it. I don't think he's going to overdo it, though, and like you said, conserve a little energy because this is a long day of racing.
Are you kidding me? Mike Klippenstein shaking in his boots. He's got to race Jimmy Wilson. Look at Richuk reeling in Wilson. Where are they going to go? Richuk's going inside, and Wilson goes outside. Look at Richuk attack the inside. It's going to be a little late, but look at how close he's reeling in Jimmy Wilson.
Matthew Richuk, without question, one of the top up-and-coming riders in the ski division, 17 years old, out of High Point, North Carolina, riding for STB Racing, Hurricane Racing, Amsoil, Jet Dynamics, Fly Racing, and Rock Tape. And young Matthew Richuk is a hard charger that has looked good the last couple of seasons and is getting better and better. And right now what he's doing, he is learning a lot about racing from Jimmy Wilson, the top national champion out there, and able to follow his lines, kind of see what he's doing. This is invaluable time on the race course. This is like school right now for Matthew Richuk, because you're not going to see Jimmy Wilson probably make a mistake out there.
You know, I want to throw something out here. Both of these riders are from North Carolina. I've got to think, if I'm Matthew Richuk, I'm thinking about finding out Tim Judge Motorsports' phone number. No, I'm looking down there. He doesn't list him as a sponsor. And Boy, if you get on the team with Jimmy Wilson, can you imagine a better mentor? Look at these guys,
Wilson.
side by side down the front straightaway. Wilson looks over, Richuck right there.
Well, Wilson took the makeup buoy that lap to make up he might have missed one out there that we didn't see. So he decides to take that just to be safe. And Richuck right behind him, keeping the pressure on Jimmy Wilson.
Well, I tell you, Matthew Richuck is having the ride of his life right now. Jimmy Wilson right there in front. He can taste the exhaust from Wilson. Wants to just reach out there and pull that ski backwards, make the pass, and get out in front of the national champion, Jimmy Wilson.
Yeah, the stock class, these boats are fairly evenly matched, although a great tuner like Tim Judge is definitely going to fine-tune it and find a little something extra usually. However, you get into the GP class, and that's really where the Tim Judge tuning is going to
Richuck went down hard. I'm sorry, Rick, to jump in there for a moment. I thought he went completely underwater like the boat was sinking.
Looks to be up and okay and running again behind Wilson. Didn't lose a position as Richuck has ridden a really good race in second place. Wilson looks over his shoulder and said, "What happened, young Matthew?"
Yeah, well, young Matthew hit the hole that we had discussed earlier on at the end of the back straightaway. He just went down hard.
And Jimmy Wilson out in front in cruise control right now. Like I said, probably saving his energy just a little bit because he's going to need it all come Moto number 3 for Pro-Am Ski GP here in just a little while.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Matthew Richuck gets some more great racing laps in behind the national champion.
No question about it. And we've got 2 races in between. So those riders that are in Pro-Am Ski Stock and Pro-Am Ski GP, they'll get about 20 minutes to relax before they get back in and hit it for the third and final most gruesome moto.
And, as you know, I really think highly of Matthew Richuck's riding style. And to that point, Moto number 3 here, he has really gapped himself from the rest of a pretty strong field that he battled with in the earlier motos. This Moto 3, he has stretched it out. Now, no match for Jimmy Wilson, to be sure, but Matthew Richuck is putting in a very, very good ride here in Moto number 3.
Yes, he is.
He's got a 3rd place in Moto 1 and a 2nd place in Moto 2.
A 2nd place in Moto 3 if he stays where he's at, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be probably a 2nd place podium finish this weekend, and that is a nice accomplishment for Matthew Richuck, and definitely no negative being 1 step below Jimmy Wilson.
Not at all, and look at this. Paul Harding right there, and talk about somebody who's sticking with it. Harding is right there behind Richuck. He has had to work exceptionally hard to stay up there, and he's starting to reel in Richuck a little at a time.
Well, Paul Harding also 38 years old, man. That's some seriously good riding out there at that age. Not that that's old, but that's definitely not 17.
Well, it's about twice 17.
Yeah,
Do the math.
Big difference, right?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot more birthdays under that hood.
So 17, kind of the energy never quits. 38, there's a point.
All right, well, there's Hayden Skellett. Looking back, I'm trying to catch the numbers. Yeah, that is the 102, Justin Trader out of Muckawanago, Wisconsin. Impressed? Muckawanago?
Yeah, you're doing well. Now, Hayden Skellett this is his first go-round in pro racing. So, Moto number 3, Hayden Skellett gets a hole shot in front of Jimmy Wilson. Think there's a little bit of pressure there for Hayden?
Oh, I think there is. Gosh.
13 years old and has got the entire field behind him.
Well, he finished 2nd in Moto number 1. Remember that.
He's ridden well.
Yeah, I mean.
There's no question.
Yeah.
But I think getting out there with the hole shot, it was like, whoa.
Jeb Zarzauer back up and running out there. You might have to go to a bottling company and pay for a little bit of this this water because he's tasted it quite often this weekend.
Yes, he has.
but to his credit, gets right back up and goes right back to it. Zarzauer, 34 years old.
As we talk about Hayden Skellett here, he comes down the front straightaway. Ride another solid moto. Little course correction there in the first lap.
Yeah, course correction.
Jimmy Wilson, our leader, comes by, boat number 1. Now all by himself, Matthew Richuk in second. Sammy Niemi comes by down a lap here, moto number 3.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is the only class that Sammy Niemi hasn't been, spectacular in, but still top 10.
Absolutely. Sammy had an amazing day yesterday, no question about it, and really showed some speed. It was really impressive rides. Number 10 coming by, that is Callaway Turner.
He's got Wyatt Hayes coming in right after him. Yeah, Jeff Hansen.
Ski stock.
Jeff Hansen out of Leno Lakes. I'm sorry, Rick, we're starting here. I was just going to say, he hasn't been up front, but he's posted a good race so far.
Stock skis in this class.
Hayden Skellett and Brandon Conelson. Just a Trader right behind, and here's your leader, Jimmy Wilson, lapping up into traffic.
Yeah, Jimmy Wilson, watching him, it's just amazing. He makes it look so effortless. I rarely see him make any kind of a mistake the entire time. I mean, he's put in lap after lap today, and it's just, they're so consistent. He's always the same, fast up front and smooth.
And Jimmy, one of the taller ski riders to have this kind of success. Jeb Zarzauer goes down again here, looks around, and back up and attacking the course one more time.
These pro motos are some long motos, and they really will suck the energy out of you. About halfway through, you start feeling it, and most notably your back really starts taking a beating, and you see these guys start stretching it out, standing upright a little bit more toward the latter stages of these motos, and it starts hurting out there, believe me.
Brandon Conelson still trying to chase down Hayden Skellett. Here comes Jimmy Wilson. Maybe he can just hold on to the back of Jimmy's boat, pull him a little further.
Well, Jimmy's got 2 laps to go.
White flag, sorry.
He didn't give it to Jimmy. He didn't? He gave it to Rich.
Well, this will be interesting. Matthew Richuk knows it's the final lap. Jimmy Wilson doesn't. Is there anything we can do about that?
Okay. White flag out, last lap. Going to keep an eye out for that checkered flag as Wilson comes in.
Yeah, he's on the inside one more time, all by himself. Folks, as he comes together, he has certainly earned your applause. Give it up for Jimmy Wilson, your winner.
Another perfect ride for Jimmy Wilson.
Jimmy Wilson looking over going, where'd that checkered flag come? I didn't see a white. Well, we kind of missed it. Our bad. Sorry, Jimmy. Great ride.
Nice ride by Matthew Richuk.
Oh, yeah.
Boat number 15, a great day for Matthew. Another second to secure a second overall.
Paul Harding coming in. He had a great ride today, too. Harding coming in that third spot. Jeb Zarzauer coming in right behind him. All right, Pro-Am Runabout. Box stock, race number 17 to the line. Why, look, Rick, they're already there.
These guys are ready to go, and which is a beautiful sight. Down in the starting line, we got a full gate of, well, not a full gate, but all the riders that are supposed to be there are there, which is awesome. Starting with our defending national champion, boat number 1 out of Denver, North Carolina on the Yamaha, riding for Factory Yamaha, Fly Racing, Champion Power Sports, Riva, and Triton Trailers. That's Brian Baldwin.
And I'm looking for him on the number 8 machine. Not seeing him out there. How about the number 75 Sea-Doo of Justin Taylor? Taylor out of Essex, Maryland.
Boat number 110 back on the starting line after some problems in moto number 2. Good to see him back out there on the Judge Motorsports Snyder built Broward Motorsports Yamaha, Bradenton Florenton's Troy Snyder.
On the 243 Yamaha out of Loganville, Georgia. He's sponsored by Riva Racing, Fly Racing, Jet Renew, Jet Trim, Scat Track, Green Acres Landscaping, Incorporated, Dennis Mack.
On the 717 Sea-Doo out of Macomb, Michigan, riding for Dees Marine Fly Racing and the Sea-Doo X team, that's Alan Dalecki.
Rounding out the field, and I believe he's out there. No, I do see on the number 8 boat out of Rydell, Georgia, on the Yamaha, sponsored by Metal Roofing Manufacturing and Dean's team at Riva, Jeff Dykowski. We're looking for the 777 of Tim Miller.
426. He's on the 426. Somebody just hollered up.
Tim Miller on the 426 boat, I understand.
I don't think Mac's out there. I don't think he's back from the hospital yet. Oh, really? Yeah, they took him to the hospital. Threw up in his helmet.
What?
Threw up in his helmet.
Oh, that's not good.
In the last motor. In the last one.
Today.
Yeah. This morning. He's the one that crashed yesterday. And like pretty much destroyed his boat. I mean, I'm not 100%, but I don't think I highly doubt he's out there.
Right.
If he even is back, I doubt he's racing.
Yeah. Do that. You're done.
Yeah, they were talking concussion and broken nose and all that.
Pro-Am Runabout box stock, really, really competitive class as these boats are very, very close in speed to each other. So every little bobble, any little mistake makes a huge difference, and the start is critical. And here we go.
Well, I'll tell you what, Alan Dalecki on fire out there. He's going to have to follow Brian Baldwin. Too bad they're on the same side.
Snyder with a hole shot on the inside. Remember, he had a great start last time when Baldwin was back, and this time, though, Baldwin's not so back. Baldwin's out front and charging down the front straightaway from the outside. Here comes Snyder on the inside. Snyder's not going to let off, and he's going to hold the lead over Baldwin. Baldwin trying to stick him on the inside. Oh, and Snyder is not letting off. This is one rider who is going to make Brian Baldwin work to get by him. Snyder is going to hang on to the inside. Baldwin's going to have to go around the outside if he wants to get by Troy Snyder.
Slugger is on it.
Oh, yeah, he is not going to give up an inch. He is going to fight tooth and nail with Brian Baldwin to hang on to that lead. Snyder wants it. Look at him down that jet trim back straightaway on the gas.
No question about it. Troy Snyder, I'll tell you what, there's very few riders that have put as many laps in as Troy has across this country for decades.
Snyder goes to the outside split. Baldwin on the inside. Here comes Snyder down the front straightaway. He's going to maintain the lead easily. over
He's
Baldwin.
Starting to stretch it out a little bit, and I know Brian Baldwin's thinking I'll use the inside. I'll be a little bit quicker than Troy. Not happening, Brian. Troy is the man right now.
Yeah, Troy on the gas on that Snyder Tim Judge Yamaha out in front of the factory Riva Yamaha of Brian Baldwin, and those two are going at it. This is going to be a great battle here this afternoon in Racine between two of the top runabout riders in the country.
Yeah, don't blink. You'll miss it. We're going a ways back now for third and fourth spot. Trying to pick up who's in third. I know in fourth it's Alan Dalecki.
Oh, and Baldwin goes inside again. Snyder on the outside.
Oh.
Really surprised to see that.
And Snyder not attacking it the way he did the first couple of times. It's
No,
going to
he's
cost
not.
him. It's going to cost him. He
Here he
backed
comes.
off.
Here comes Snyder, full head of steam. Baldwin on the inside. No way is he going to be able to take the lead, but he closed the gap significantly. Oh, Snyder swings way wide that
Yes.
time.
Troy Snyder. And you know what? I'll just tell you this. If it was any other rider, Brian Baldwin would be in front right now. He was not going to try and stuff Troy.
Yeah, they would have definitely traded some fiberglass seriously in that case, and they may yet here before this race is over with.
Oh, look at that move by Baldwin. That was slick. He reeled in Snyder by about 4 boat lengths. Almost got him.
Snyder's got some horsepower, man. He has got some good low-end acceleration onto that.
Baldwin goes down.
Goes down. Baldwin's got a problem.
Taking the seat off.
Seat coming off, just like Snyder in moto number 2.
Oh, deja vu all over again.
Wow. So this time it's Baldwin. Last time it was Snyder. Another problem with these GP Yamahas and the seats coming off in the stock class. Very, very surprising.
Surprising.
In stock, yes. Modified, no. But that the way these guys ride, nobody can test boats for the OEMs like these guys.
Right.
They
no
should
kidding.
hire these guys to test them.
Well, I know Jeff Dykowski, 60 years old. He's in second position right now.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, he and Troy Snyder, they're best friends. Not.
Well, we won't have to worry about that at this point in time. And it looks like
They're towing him in.
Baldwin's on the hook.
How unfortunate.
Wow. So that's going to change everything for the overall today.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I am amazed to see Alan Dalecki back there in third spot still with Dykowski. Dykowski's actually starting to catch Snyder.
Well, Snyder's got a 5 and a 7. Wow. We got to do some math here. We got a 5 and a 7, a 3 and a 2. It looks to me like Dalecki's got the best shot here of taking the overall. He's coming up behind. Here he comes. Here comes Dalecki behind Dykowski.
Oh, he got that pump wash and went about 8 feet to the side.
So Dykowski's got 8 points. Dalecki's got 5. So Dalecki's in a great position here. Snyder with a 5 and a 7, so he doesn't have a shot.
No.
And it's going to be Dalecki looking real good for the overall if things stay like they are right now. But as we've seen, who knows? Who's the next seat that's coming off?
All I can say is if Dalecki wins it, he will have earned it.
That's a fact. I wonder if he's got any idea he's got a shot at the overall at this moment. Let's keep an eye on where we're at on the racetrack here. Troy Snyder, our race leader, boat number 110, comes down the front straightaway with a commanding lead over second place. Here's the battle for second. Dykowski in second, and gaps Dalecki just a little bit that time, and Dykowski took the inside split, so go figure.
Yeah, well, we see the cross flags, and I'm thinking it is rougher out there than it's been, and that may be what's starting to tighten up the splits just a little bit, Rick.
And here comes Brian Baldwin, the defending national champion, sight we don't see very often.
No, not very often at all.
On the hook, getting a toe in, and that's going to bring his day in box stock to an end with a pair of wins in Motos 1 and 2. That's
Wait a
going to
minute.
give him, about, what do you got, 7, so 9? Yeah, Dielecki with a real good position here, and barring anything unforeseen, which I don't want to say that anymore because Troy Snyder had a problem in Moto 2,
Yeah.
Baldwin in Moto 3. Wow.
Wait a-
Dielecki in front of, or behind Dykowski, but that's okay.
Yeah, if he drops back one more, that'll give the win to Baldwin.
Wow. Dielecki
Isn't that-
better,
is that crazy?
Dielecki better wick it up just a little
Yeah,
bit,
that's what I'm saying.
and he's going to take a win here and a little cash home, right? Pro-Am runabout box
Oh, yeah.
stock, man. That'd be a real nice win for Alan Dielecki out of Macomb, Michigan on his Sea-Doo, and he's in a great position right now. He'd be in a better position if he can get around Dykowski.
Well, all I can say is if one more rider drops out, Dielecki's got, and it's not Dielecki, then Dielecki will have the win. Troy Snyder out in front, enjoying this. He worked hard for this. Moto number 1, moto number 2, had some issues, and now he's out front and cooking.
And despite dropping out of Moto number 2, he's probably going to end up on the podium.
Quite possibly.
Probably not happily, but on the podium nonetheless. But definitely will have a ramification on point standings.
Oh, no question. Boy, Jeff Dykowski really throwing it down this moto. I mean, he is putting the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, Brian Baldwin and Troy Snyder not too far apart in points overall for the national championship. So this is going to tighten things up
Whoa.
considerably.
Oh, Dykowski went way deep into the outside. And
Dielecki on the inside. He's going to take over second right here. Momentarily.
or is he?
Shoves Dykowski out and takes over second, and he's well on his way to an overall win here in Pro-Am Runabout Box Stock if he can maintain his position in second place behind Troy Snyder.
If he could just stay on the boat now, that's it.
That is absolutely right, Kurt Nolenberg.
All right, coming up next, Race 18 Sport GP.
But this is definitely going to tighten the points up overall for the national championship with Troy Snyder and Brian Baldwin.
No question about it.
So Troy's going to pick up some points here, a little bit at least, on Baldwin. I think 5 and a 7, and maybe not actually, because he's going to get a 7, so he's got a 9. Yeah, no, he's really not. By virtue of Baldwin's 2 first places.
Right, which, frankly, that's huge.
That is huge.
Yeah, 2 first places almost always means a podium, even with an issue.
Yeah, even dropping out here in Moto 3, he's still going to get some points today. Battle for the national championship. This is round 3 of the 2018 Pro Watercross National Tour presented by Broward Motorsports. And these riders are racing for both championships here in round 3 at Racine, as well as the overall national title. So a lot going on here in each race. Very, very important points being awarded for each moto.
All right, 2 laps to go.
Troy Snyder right by us one more time, number 110, the race leader. Dielecki, number 717, in second on the yellow Sea-Doo. And then Jeff Dykowski in third. I believe that's Tim Miller in fourth behind And actually, Tim Miller has got a second and a third. That is not going to be he's right with Dalecki on points, but it's going to be Dalecki edging out Miller for the overall if it comes down to it. Miller would take a second by virtue of his final moto placing a little higher than Brian Baldwin.
And Troy Snyder
out again.
Yeah, doing everything he can, but
white flag out for Troy, 1 lap to go. So a lot going on here with points, with guys dropping out. It really changes things up when some of the top guys like Brian Baldwin drops out of a moto. It opens things up considerably for the rest of the field.
Well, I'm looking down at these numbers, and I'm going, wow, Jeff Dykowski got a fourth, and assuming he stays there, a third, and he's not even going to get on the podium.
No. Nope. Not the way it stands right now in the final lap. Keep an eye out for our race leader coming around, boat number 110. Troy out of Bradenton, Florida, riding for Judge Motorsports.
Folks, put your hands together for Troy Snyder, your race winner. Second position, Alan Dalecki coming off the outside. Unofficially, your overall winner. He's got to be happy. Look at this battle here for third, coming down to the very last buoy. And Dykowski takes third. Slamming his hand down. Justin Taylor gets fourth. Wow.
Next up on the starting line, Sport GP, Moto number 3. This is going to decide it. And so far this weekend, it's been all Sam Nemi with a pair of wins. Number 13 down there on the line. And the ball is in his court right now as we head into Moto number 3.
Yeah, no question about it. Nemi has been the class of the field here today. But Keith Dill, always there. So Sam's got two first place. Keith has 2 seconds. Kelly Smith has a 4th and a 3rd. And Kyle Hayes has a 3rd and a 4th. So that's everybody that's up there in the points right now.
Yep, and it's really Sam Nemi's event to lose here today. But having said that, in this class, we've seen it before. Actually, in virtually every class, we've seen it before because we just saw it with Brian Baldwin the race before, and he was in the driver's seat looking like an easy winner in that Pro-Am Runabout Box Stock class, drops out of Moto number 3 and loses the overall.
All right, so we've got Nemi, O'Rourke, Dearman, Keith Dill. Is that Kyle Hayes out there? And then Michael Osborne.
Sport GP carbon fiber lightweight hulls, and these guys get it on.
Dill with a hole shot on the inside, Nemi with a hole, or on the outside, Nemi with a hole shot on the inside. These two are going to battle yet again in this moto. Nemi's been unstoppable out front.
Oh, God, Nemi with a huge lead already on the inside split. Wow.
Look at Dill, though. Dill putting it down as well. Nemi going to come out in first, no question about that. It's just how far back is Dill going to be.
Nemi takes a quick look over his shoulder, checks to see where Dill is, and off he goes.
He's got to feel really comfortable with Keith Dill right behind him. Those guys have done so many laps together. They trust each other, and And frankly, they've been doing this long enough. They know how to do this safely.
Both very, very experienced racers, as you say, and right now Sam Nemi is just at the top of his game on that Tim Judge tuned Wave Blaster. We talked about it before, lightweight carbon hull, triple cylinder, two-stroke engine, putting out some massive horsepower with the tuning of Tim Judge, and he puts it to good use out there, dominating in Sport GP this weekend.
Yes, he does. I'm looking back there. Oh, Billy Dearman almost hit that hole, almost went off, but he's in a strong third-place position as well. Oh, Dearman. Boy, these riders hitting that hole as they come off the right-hand side to the outside split. I'm thinking inside for the rest of the day. KD, Keith Dill pursuing Sam Nemi.
Sam Nemi heading on to the jet trim back straightaway one more time with a commanding lead over Keith Dill now and stretching it out. He is just gone, man. That is one fast Wave Blaster he's on.
I'm going to say commanding doesn't really even come close. Totally dominant. I don't know. I have to look for the right adjective for how far out front Sam Nemi got right away. Keith Dill in tow, and right behind him, Billy Dearman. That Kyle Hayes on the blue boat. Is that the 346 out there?
Yes, it is.
Boy, Kelly Smith, very aggressive on the inside. Smith on that right-handers will just throw that boat completely sideways.
Oh, these guys are on the gas out there from front to back. They are right as hard as they possibly can, battling for position, battling for points here on the Pro Watercross Tour, and it is fun to watch these guys get after it.
Well, I tell you what, it is absolutely like watching ballet, Sam Nemi out there. And once again, he's already backed way off the throttle, saving that fuel, saving that motor.
Down the front straightaway, the race leader absolutely dominant this afternoon, and all series long, Sam Nemi.
And number 2, been there all season as well, Keith Dill. Here's
111.
Dearman. Yeah, glad to have Dearman back on a boat. Had a couple of surgeries in the off season, and he's back to it. Well, Kelly Smith making a move there over Michael Osborne. And I'm not seeing Brian O'Rourke out there anywhere.
No, I don't see Brian in this moto. Didn't see him down on the line at the start, so may have called it a day.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Would love to have seen him out there with his teammate Kelly Smith. So Nemi has a whole front straightaway lead plus some over Keith Dill. And Dill, in turn, has an equidistant over Billy Dearman in third. The battle really is for 4th and 5th back here between Kelly Smith and Michael Osborne. They've been flipping back and forth every other lap. Excuse me, I said Michael Osborne. I meant Kyle Hayes.
Sam Nemi flying down that back straightaway. Michael Osborne, 43, out of Sarasota, Florida. On the bullet hold, Wave Blaster. Here comes Nemi one more time, taking the halfway sign from our starter.
You know what that reminds me of?
What is that?
Well, we're more than halfway through, but if you want to get some of the gorgeous Pro Watercross souvenir shirts, now's your opportunity before the races are over. Head over and see AJ Handler. They call him the Price Slasher.
Yeah, don't miss out on a chance to grab some really cool official Pro Watercross gear on sale here this afternoon. $10 for a official Pro Watercross t-shirt and just $20 for a really, really cool hoodie zip-up sweatshirt. Beautiful sweatshirt. Definitely take advantage of these prices here today in Racine for Pro Watercross official merchandise. Right down here behind us, the official Pro Watercross booth, and you can grab whatever you want down there. Check it out before the racing ends today, for sure.
If you buy more than one shirt, ask AJ Handler to show you the video of his lovely wife singing the national anthem, because she did such a great job yesterday.
Oh, that was amazing. Absolutely amazing. No question about it. Oh, what a day here. Racine, what a weekend here in Racine.
We're going to be sorry to see it go.
Got the master of disaster, Richard Ignacio, bringing everybody the vibes all over the world, making it happen, burning up cables.
Live streaming 247.com.
Slashing and burning all the electrical equipment he can get his hands on.
Whoa, rider up on the far left-hand side.
Oh, ejection. Got a rider about 30 feet from his watercraft, getting assisted immediately by our awesome Watercross staff.
I think that's Kelly Smith, based on what I'm seeing out there.
Hey, AJ, you got any Shark Energy down there?
Ooh.
Yeah?
Grab me one of those.
Sugar-free?
Yes, please.
I'm coming down.
Yeah, please. All right, Nemi continuing to lead. Kelly Smith back at his boat. Oh, no, I just heard if you buy a shirt, you can get a free Shark Energy drink. Anybody out there feeling a little lax, a little slow, want to pick themselves up, want to get locked, cocked, and ready to rock? Shark Energy going to do that for you. That's right. Buy 2 shirts for $20, get the second one free. Buy 3 for $10, get the 4th half off. Sam Nemi and Keith Dill absolutely putting it down out here. Nemi starting to lap into traffic. He's going side by side with Michael Osborne there. And Osborne not letting Nemi by. Nemi looks over like, what's wrong, dude? I'm lapping you. Oh, and Sam Nemi slowing down significantly at the end of the back straightaway. He's looking over his shoulder. I think he wants to talk to Osborne. Say, Michael, follow me around. This is the way. Go right. Okay, we're going to go down here and now go left. And there they go. Osborne and Nemi. Oh, and Osborne spins out. Nemi looks over his shoulder. Non-caring look of, all right, Michael. Come on. Before the award. Got it. Copy that. Wow. Well, Rick Lake, thank you very much. Shark Energy, sugarless, tastes awesome.
The official energy drink of the
Pro Watercross
Tour presented by Broward Motorsports, and we love our Shark Energy, that is for sure.
Yes, we do.
Perfect time in the afternoon for a little pick-me-up. White flag out, one lap to go. Pro Sport GP.
We need Pro-Am Ski GP to the line, please.
Sam Nemi looking to make it a perfect day here in Racine, Wisconsin. Home of Scott Hike in the Kringle.
Don't you know?
Oh, we love Scott Hike, our race director and impresario of the Great Lakes Watercross Tour. Pretty darn cool. If you want to do watercross racing right here in Wisconsin, go to GreatLakesWatercross.com and check it out. Local races you can be part of, so definitely contact Scott and be a part of his racing. Checkered flags coming out, Kurt.
All right, put your hands together. Your third moto winner, Sam Nemi. Behind him, a great job, Keith Dill. Oh, and Billy Dearman at Mach 7. Playing with Michael Osborne back there. And Sam Nemi gets a checkered flag.
Sam Nemi out there taking the win. Real happy today. Sam is the owner of Broward Motorsports. So he's got a good sponsor.
All 5 of them.
He's got a good sponsor.
Yeah, he's got the best sponsor, I
Oh,
think.
man. Yeah, living the dream for sure.
Well, and he's taking that flag not for his own accomplishments, but for his team, for Hamilton, for the Hull, for Judge Motorsports, putting the pressure, for everybody who's working so hard for their team. All right, Pro-Am Ski GP. Oh, man.
You know, and one word about Sam, you know, he's got the trick equipment. You know, he's got the Hamiltons. He's got the motor from Judge and all the good stuff. But you know what? You still got to ride it, man. You got to get out there and make it work. You can have the best stuff in the world, but it comes down to you as a rider to make it work and to put that machine into first place consistently.
Absolutely, no question about it. And there's one other word I'd use, humble.
Very much. Very unbelievably.
Very approachable, great guy. You can talk to him about anything down in the pits.
Yep, one of the nicest guys in the sport. There's no question about it. It's been a pleasure to meet him and get to know him. And just a great representative for pro watercross racing. Sam Nemi, Broward Motorsports, congratulations.
All right, Pro-Am Ski GP. Well, Sam's teammate and sponsored rider, Jimmy Wilson, He's got 2 wins already. He's looking for a third, but I got a whole list of riders here that would love to get beyond that.
Kurt Nolenberg, I've been looking forward to this one because right down in the line on the pole position, we got 2 awesome riders standing right next to each other. They're Wilson on the inside, and then 212, the Clipper, Mike Klippenstein right next to him, and they're jawing a little bit down on the line right now.
Hey, you don't even speak English, eh?
And
let's not forget Craig Warner.
I was just going to say, where is Craig at down there? There's Craig Warner on the number 2 factory Kawasaki. Craig out of Ackworth now, Georgia, but formerly a Southern California resident and longtime competitor. Watched Craig race for, gosh, it seems like forever. The old Watusi rider back in the day on the Sea-Doo.
Yes, Jerry Watusi.
And so Craig, another one of the guys like Clipper, those guys go at it not just in closed course racing like we have here in Racine, Pro Watercross, but these guys battle across the Pacific Ocean. We've captured them battling side by side for 50 miles across the Pacific Ocean to Catalina Island and back from Long Beach, which is an amazing event, and to have guys that close for that distance, you know, we use a helicopter to obviously shoot it and capture it, but these guys go at it in every way, shape, or form. Mark Hahn 300 out in Havasu, 300-mile endurance races. These guys love to compete.
And compete they will. Pro-Am Ski GP, moto number 3, about to go off. Whoa, Clipper getting a hole shot, but Wilson jumped that lighter boat up and just took it away from him.
Yeah, you're right. Kurt Clipper got a great start that time, right behind Wilson. Wilson's going to stretch it out, though. Whoa. Wilson taking the inside split. Who's on the outside? Is that Craig? Yeah,
Warner. That's Warner for sure.
The factory Kawasaki on the outside split. Here they go. Wilson on the inside.
Rider down on the inside. I think that was Derek Pell.
Oh, look at Warner. Here comes Warner with a full head of steam down the front straightaway.
Nope.
Wilson out in front of him.
Nope. Not going to do it there.
Wilson able to keep the lead. Here comes Warner making a move. Warner all over Wilson right now, challenging him for the lead. Moto number 3 for the blood, the mud, the blood, and the beer here in Racine.
Wilson out front. Warner in second. Clipper in third. Richuk, no, that's not Richuk. That's Derek Powell in fourth. Wow, all the top 4 riders right there. We need Richuk to move up. Is that Richuk at the back?
Well, this is what's interesting in this Pro Ski GP race. And look at Wilson. What did Tim Judge do between motos? Because Wilson just hit the nitrous button down that back straightaway and just catapulted into the lead.
It wasn't nitrous.
Oh, I'm just joking about that, of course, but it looked like it because he definitely got a little horsepower boost right there. And
Clipper on the inside, Warner on the outside. Clipper going at it. Warner, look at Warner attacking this course. I got to tell you, Rick, we got a little bit of time. The way Craig Warner's boat is handling this weekend, there has definitely been changes made to it.
Oh, yeah, there's no question. These guys are working on ride plates. They're working on scoop grates. They're working on pump setback. This is GP racing. Everything goes. Not to mention carbs, cams, you name it. I don't know what he's got under there this weekend. I haven't had a chance to talk to him and take a look, but definitely improve over 2 months ago in Pensacola Beach. It's definitely faster. There's no question. And handling better. You're right.
Yeah, I think the handling better. It's way handling better compared to the increase in speed. I don't think it's really that much faster from what I've seen, over the last few races. However, the way that boat is handling, significantly different. Warner's able to throw that thing into the corner, make the turn now. Before, he was always fighting a high side. The thing would bite and slip and bite and slip. Now he's able to attack the corners.
Yeah, they're definitely working on the handling. Even reshaping the hull. They reshape the hull, try different things. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. And the improvements never end. This testing never ends. And, Clipper, though, right behind Warner. not too far back on that 212 R&D SXR 1500.
Stock boat.
It is a stock boat. He's got the R&D race sponsons on there, a Bill Chapin R&D very trick ride plate. They're experimenting with some things on that ride plate.
Well, I tell you what, Jimmy Wilson is just a spectacular rider. And, you know, really, it's not just one race. He's consistently out front. If he doesn't get the whole shot, you know, every other year, he works his way through the pack. The same sort of smooth riding style. Reminds me a lot of Jeff Jacobs, to be honest.
Well, one thing I find really interesting here in this race today, Pro-Am Ski GP, is you've got the two-stroke carbon hulled boat that Jimmy Wilson's been on for a while now. Triple cylinder, two-stroke carbon fiber hull, a very highly developed boat. And then the next four boats are Kawasaki SXR four-strokes.
Right.
Not another two-stroke in the front-running field.
Yeah, and let's face it, that boat is the best Tim Judge can do. I know I'm not saying they'll never innovate other things, but there's no question in my mind that if there's one rider that Tim Judge puts his heart into, it's Jimmy Wilson.
Oh, no question about it. And Wilson, very much like Sam Nemi we mentioned before, he's got all the trick stuff, but you know you got to make it work. And there's no greater test than pro ski on a rider's ability, because it's really rider ability. You know, you got to be there's no place to hide on a racetrack on a pro ski boat.
Let's face it, you or I are not going to get on Jimmy Wilson's boat and do anything but harm ourselves.
Flail. Harm ourselves is correct.
Warner's starting to wick it up a little bit. Now I'm wondering, as the wind, you can feel it getting rougher.
A little bit.
As it gets rougher out there, the heavier Kawasaki might be able to keep a higher top speed down that back straightaway, the jet turn back straightaway. And Warner doing everything he can to keep that thing hooked up, following Jimmy Wilson.
Yeah, I think there's no question, Kurt, that the rougher it gets, definitely is favorable to the Kawasaki. Having said that, however, we had really rough conditions in both Pensacola Beach and Panama City Beach, and nonetheless, Jimmy Wilson prevailed handily.
Well, I'm going to say that the equipment that Warner, Clipper, a few of the other SXR riders are riding now, they're definitely much more race-worthy than they were 2 months ago.
Getting better by the race, no question about it, as Jimmy Wilson leads down the front straightaway. Boat number 1 out in front. Kurt Warner, boat number 2 in second, and then 212, Mike Klippenstein in third place. And these guys are going at it right now. 3 of the top riders in the world riding as hard as they can here in Racine, Wisconsin on the Pro Watercross Tour, putting on a show out in front. But really, it's Jimmy Wilson not making mistakes, because Craig Warner is right behind him. I mean, Craig Warner's been behind him all day, and Jimmy Wilson has yet to bobble, has yet to make a mistake, nothing.
Not
Gone
one.
down, hasn't slid out in a corner. He has not made a mistake on the water today.
The only thing I've seen him do is slow down and play with a couple of people because he
well,
was bored.
That's about it. And that's the only time he's let off the gas also.
See David Cabrera coming by, another long-term pro, great rider out there. He's not having the results he wants this weekend, but I'm sure we'll see him out here again. And Richuk.
About to get lapped.
Wow.
That's as fast as Richuk is. These are the top riders in the world right here coming behind him. And Warner starting to close that gap on Wilson, Kurt.
Lapped riders could be a factor.
Here comes Warner. Let's see if Warner has got it. Oh, Wilson, better watch out because Warner's on the gas.
Well, Warner's got that heavier boat. We hit over that section. That part of the track is always a little sketchy because of the hole on the far right-hand side. Look at Richuk going wide.
Yeah, Richuk needs to move out of the way for these guys right now, and he's doing so.
And what great sportsmanship. You've got to love that.
Real pro riding.
Richuk goes down, trying not to get in front of Klippenstein.
Yeah, he got off his pace there, off his line, off his pace, which just throws you completely out of it. But Out in front right now, it's Wilson. Here comes Clipper. Clipper wants to be part of this party as well. It's Clipper now charging.
Going to the inside.
Clipper goes inside. Wilson and Warner on the outside. Let's see. Wilson and Warner got clean water. Clipper's got a rider in front of him. Not sure how much of advantage that's going to be for Clipper, but he's going to take a shot anyway.
It's going to work.
Oh, he's going to take second. Look at this. Klippenstein looks over. He's got second place. Sets his sights on Wilson now. Warner dropped back on that outside split, Kurt.
Unbelievable.
Mike Klippenstein, the legend, personal watercraft racing, 27-time world champion now, putting the pressure on Jimmy Wilson. Mike, 50 years old out of Fort McMurray, Canada. Wilson, 29 years old out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And these two are the two of the top riders in the world, along with Craig Warner. And they are going at it here in Pro Ski GP Moto number 3. This is it.
I don't know how many world championships there are between the first, second, and third riders, but it's a huge number.
Oh, man. Well,
yeah. I know Clipper's got the 27.
With 27 alone, I mean, good Lord.
Well, how many did
and
Jacobs
Clipper goes
have?
inside again.
Yeah,
well,
he likes it.
Jacobs has the most overall stand-up titles, but Clippers are in all kinds. Oh, look at Clipper.
White flag, last lap to go, and lapped riders in front of Jimmy Wilson and the Clipper, Mike Klippenstein.
And Klippenstein, fit as a fiddle, goes down right there. Klippenstein extremely fit. Here he goes. One more shot at Jimmy Wilson. Wilson has not made a mistake. Let's see if he can keep it clean through the final lap here in Racine.
Oh, I know Wilson will keep it clean. It's the lapped riders in front of him and where he comes up on them that's going to make a difference for Mike Klippenstein.
Klippenstein on the R&D SXR 1500 in second place, tracking down Jimmy Wilson one last time. Now the jet trim back straightaway. Here they go.
You know Bill Chapin's at home watching the live stream on Pro Watercross, yelling and screaming for Mike Klippenstein.
Oh, here we go. Couple turns. Oh, Mike
Clipper
goes
going inside. Wilson going outside.
Wilson's got lap traffic. Clipper's got a clean track in front of him. Clipper's got clean water.
Wilson looks over and sees Clipper coming.
Oh, it's going to be Wilson. Wilson's going to take it. He's coming out of that turn with a full head of steam. Here comes Clipper. It's going to be close. And it's Wilson.
Jimmy Wilson takes the win. Third in a row. Klippenstein.
Wow.
He and Clipper bump hands.
Wow.
Here comes Craig Warner.
Warner takes a third. What a race. Wilson, Clipper, and Warner, 1, 2, 3.
You got to wonder, Craig Warner's got to be thinking, will I ever beat Jimmy Wilson again?
I love this stuff. I'll tell you what, watching these guys battle in pro ski, I absolutely dig it, man. It's always a treat. And these guys put on quite a show here today in Racine, Wisconsin. Wow, what a day.
Pro-Am Runabout GP on the line. Well, let's look at some of the points here. Klippenstein. They have 7. Wilson, of course, will have the win.
Huge congratulations to Jimmy Wilson, Tim Judge, on a perfect weekend. I don't think Wilson won every moto he entered this weekend. 6 for 6. You can't do better than that, to say the least. Jimmy Wilson absolutely dominated here in Racine today and all weekend long.
You know sponsors love that, right? How'd you do this weekend? Well, I won. I won.
6 out of 6, man. You can't beat that. As good as it gets right there.
All right. Pro-Am Runabout GP on the line.
Final race of the weekend here in Racine, and what a weekend it's been.
All right, on the number 8 machine out of Rydell, Georgia, Yamaha mounted Jeff Dykowski.
Boat number 66 out of Cuermo, Kansas. On the Sea-Doo, 47-year-old Mark Roberts.
On the 75 Sea-Doo out of Essex, Maryland, Justin Taylor.
Number 502 out of Denver, North Carolina, the factory Yamaha, Brian Baldwin.
On the 717 Sea-Doo out of Macomb, Michigan, Alan Dalecki.
And 777 out of Waco, Texas, the Dean's team rider, Tim Miller.
On that number 426 boat.
426, not 777. We got that correction.
Well, thank you very much, Scott Hike.
Final moto. Final moto coming up of the weekend. Wow. What an amazing weekend here in Racine, and I can't believe it's the last
Rickley,
race of the weekend.
Say it's not so. Say, oh, you know what that makes it? The last opportunity. Oh, no, looks like he's breaking it down. Are you still giving stuff away?
There's not much left.
5 or 10? $10 T-shirts, and if you smile at them really good, maybe $7.50. Go down and see the price slasher.
There's only a few shirts. I just went down there and checked and picked up some Shark Energy, and there's only a few T-shirts left down there. So if you want a Pro Watercross T-shirt, you got one last chance, $10 at the merchandise booth.
$10, don't holler. Pro-Am Runabout GP on the line, the fastest boats on the water. Did I hear him right? 25 laps? With a fueling stop? Baldwin or Dalecki? Oh, man. Brian Baldwin right on it. Alan Dalecki way late on the throttle. Let's see how it pans out. Baldwin on the outside, Dalecki on the inside. Alan Dalecki out of Michigan on the inside. That brilliant green and black Sea-Doo on the outside. Brian Baldwin.
Oh, Baldwin is absolutely flying on the outside. Keep an eye on Brian Baldwin as he comes onto this front straightaway with a full head of steam on this factory GP Yamaha.
National world champion.
Just on the gas and flying out in front.
Dalecki inside. There's Justin Taylor back in the 4th spot. Tim Miller in 3rd.
Brian Baldwin on the gas here. Moto number 3, Pro-Am Runabout GP, and he is laying it down here in Racine. Baldwin goes to the inside. Dalecki behind him on the inside split.
I'll tell you what, Dalecki, compared with who's in front of him, this guy is on fire.
Riding very well in early going of each moto. He has been very strong and has been close to the pace that Brian Baldwin's been on. Not quite there, but pretty darn close. Impressive riding, to be sure, for Alan Dalecki this weekend.
Nice catch. Brian Baldwin, the end of the jet trim back straightaway. He turns around, gives a little wave to Alan Dalecki coming the other direction. Hey, you better hurry up if you want to play with me.
Both go to the inside split once again. Baldwin's decided this is definitely the faster way around, as has Dalecki.
So the race now between Miller and Justin Taylor for that 4th position. Tim Miller pushing hard on that machine. The one that he brought broke, so he's on a borrowed boat.
The 426 he's on in 3rd place right now, Miller, and but out front right now it's again Been saying it all weekend long. Brian Baldwin, man, wow, what a performance.
And
Amazing.
I do believe that Brian does most of the work on his boat.
Factory Yamaha Riva-sponsored Brian Baldwin. Brian out of Denver, North Carolina, 39 years old.
I believe that's Denver.
And he's that's what you would say. I'm sticking with Denver.
Little bit of humor at the end of the race weekend,
it's like
folks.
you have a different word for everything, Kurt.
Apparently. I'm, what do they call that?
French.
Dykowski, dyslexics, one of those things.
French.
France. Baldwin absolutely boiling the water out there. That Yamaha is brilliantly fast. He rides it as well as that boat can be ridden.
Brian, an absolutely amazing personal watercraft enthusiast with just a garage full of personal watercraft. He owns a lot of them. He's just really into it. Lives, eats, and breathes the sport, and you could see the results of that out here today.
No question about it. Yeah, he says he's got a crappy mechanic. By the way, he does all the work himself. I'm thinking he's being a little hard on himself as he goes out and dominates once again.
Yeah, defending champion in 2 classes, not bad.
And Dalecki, I'll tell you what, very, very impressed with Alan Dalecki. I know Michigan's a ways from North Carolina, but he might consider going down and moving right next door to Brian Baldwin.
Yeah, he's riding very well this weekend. I'd like to see him continue on the tour. It'd be fun to see him race on that Sea-Doo because he has really shown well here in Racine this weekend.
No question about it, and he's keeping Brian Baldwin honest as he can be.
Yeah, definitely miss Arminio Iantosca, a Sea-Doo factory rider, not on tour this year, and we miss him a lot. And because he not only is a really cool guy, but he keeps Brian Baldwin pretty honest.
Oh, and those two put on some exceptional challenges to each other.
Yeah, absolutely. They get it on, no question. So Arminio definitely missed this year for sure.
Arminio, if you're watching on the live stream, we miss you. Would love to have you at the next event. Boy, Justin Taylor pushing hard on that number 75. It doesn't look like he's backed off even a little bit, but the difference between the GP and the stock class, very clear.
Absolutely. I mean, GP is pretty unlimited. Stock boats are around the 300 horsepower range in the pro class. Some of them a little less, but in that 300 horsepower range, let's just say. GP, I've seen boats up to in the 600 horsepower arena. Believe it or not, 900 pounds, give or 800, 900 pounds watercraft with a 500 or 600 horsepower motor. So
that's a power to weight ratio.
Think about that for a second.
Oh man, are you kidding me? That's even better than the factory road racing bikes I used to race, even including a TZ750.
Well, they are very, very challenging to hang on to and ride, to be sure, because you'll see these guys, they'll put bolsters on the back of the seats just to keep them in place. They accelerate so fiercely, and the turning, forget about it. Hanging on in those turns, the way these guys ride, takes a tremendous amount of strength.
Yeah, and it does take one of those special seats to help keep you in there.
Oh, you see why they build them like that now, and it's kind of crazy, really.
You know, it reminds me of a documentary on Ferrari and their racing team. You know, most of the racing cars into the late 50s, early 60s didn't even have seat belts in them. It was very common for these guys to get ejected out of, you know, not many lived, but ejected off their machines. And I'll tell you what, I've seen some watercraft racers on runabouts get ejected as far as I ever want to see a human being fly through the air.
Oh, yeah, we've got some great video that
without
we captured.
HYDROFLIGHT, of course.
Oh, we've got so much good stuff that we've captured over the years for watercraftrider.com of
Can you go there and see it?
racing. It's all on there. YouTube, our own website, everything, watercraftrider.com. And there's some good racing through the years that's on there. And, yeah, it's good stuff.
Do you spell it Rider, R-I-D-E-R?
That's correct.
All right, watercraftrider.com. That's like prowatercross.com.
Exactly.
If this tickles your fancy, you'd like to start watercraft racing, there's a very, very large contingent of racers here in Wisconsin. Look up Scott Hike. Call him at home, 2 or 3 in the morning. He'd be happy to help you.
GreatLakesWatercross.com. GreatLakesWatercross.com. Check it out. And you can get involved in this sport real easily. The great group, and they'll hook you up and get you involved in racing.
WeBeFast.com. Baldwin all alone.
Boy,
I wonder if he's got earbuds in there and plays music or something.
Got to.
I got to get away.
Well, he is completely checked out from everybody. It's amazing the lead he has here. Moto number 3, Pro Runabout GP. As we wind things down here after a beautiful weekend, a perfect weekend for racing in Racine. Racing in Racine. Can't beat it. I love this place. Outstanding location, as good as it gets. And, perfect.
I got a great idea. Brian Baldwin way out in front. You know what I'm thinking he should do? He should pull in here, pick up Carrie Grieving, and take her on a victory lap the last lap of the race. What do you think, Carrie?
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you.
Carrie Grieving from the city of Racine.
Yep.
Been so
Real Racine.
real Racine.
That's the deal here.
Totally generous and
the best people you could ever
I'm telling
imagine.
you.
Best hospitality, wonderful town, and this beautiful race site here on Lake Michigan. Everything I expected. I looked forward to this event all year, and it's been everything and more that I expected, and it's really been a great weekend. I've enjoyed it immensely.
That's right. Let's not forget Killer Kringles. That's right.
They are killer Kringles, I will say.
Baldwin getting ready to lap the field here. Alan Delecki on that 717 as he comes down the front straightaway. He's ridden a lonely race himself. Right behind him, Tim Miller and Justin Taylor. All three of them, they got a little battle going between themselves. Brian Baldwin wants to join them. Two laps to go. And yes, we do finish each other's sentences.
Baldwin, wow, what a performance this weekend. Had a tough break in the stock class with an engine failure, and moto number 3 dropped him down. But nonetheless, an absolutely perfect performance, of course, here in Pro-Am Runabout GP, as he has not been headed by, there's no one even close to Brian's speed here. And he has just completely blown away the field all weekend long in GP.
Well, the final lap's coming up. Brian Baldwin makes the turn. White flag comes out.
Randy just got that flag up in the nick of time, man.
I think it was a quarter second back of the nick of time. Brian was looking over. You going to give it? You going to give it? You going to give
Come
it? Okay, I
on.
better look where I'm going. Randy puts up the white flag.
He's like, come on, brother. See it.
Oh, gosh. Brian Baldwin going to finish up this final lap. And this, unfortunately, will put an end to the racing here. We want to put a huge shout-out to all of our sponsors. Of course, Yamaha, Broward Motorsports. We wouldn't be here without Sam Nemi and his crew. We appreciate them. HydroTurf, Shark Energy, keeping us awake. Jet Trim, Bitchin' Stitchin', Watcon.com, Sea-Doo, Yamaha, and a host.
Flag comes out. Brian Baldwin takes the win. Wow, what a great day, great weekend for Brian Baldwin. Takes that checkered flag for a little victory lap. He's pretty stoked. Could hear him yelling from up here.
Yep. Typical Brian Baldwin. Got to let people know how he feels.
He has got the loudest yell I've ever heard. He's got to be a rebel because that is a rebel yell, man.
Oh, yeah.
If I've ever heard one.
That might have been what was it Leonard Skinner, rebel yell?
Maybe.
No, maybe. We'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
All right. Well, the rest of the field, where Brian takes a victory lap, comes through. Alan Dalecki.
That's not right.
Did a great job. Seriously, in second position.
Yeah, he did. He looked good.
Behind him, Tim Miller, and then Justin Taylor. How about a huge round of applause for all of our racers today?
Great job, everybody. Wonderful weekend of racing. Coming to a close here in beautiful Racine, and we've got Carrie here, who has been an amazing hostess for the weekend, and you and your team and your city are absolutely phenomenal. We have had the best time here. I look forward to it all year because I love the Midwest, but this place rocks.
It was really, really exciting to be the only Midwest stop this year. For you guys to come here, choose us. I can't tell you how excited we were.
Well, thank you. We are excited to be here. And Kurt?
I'm exceptionally excited. I'm telling you. Why are you looking down at me laughing at me? I don't know. You don't know what I'm going to throw up here, do you? Here's what I'm throwing up for you. Let's show it to the rest of the world. That is for you in appreciation of your support. Real Racine. We thank you so much, Carrie. And frankly,
thank you.
We work with a lot of people around the country and a lot of great people, but you guys are at the top right now.
Yeah, this
Thank you
has
so
been
much.
phenomenal. Thank you. You do a great job. I don't know how you do it all, but you make it happen. You got a great town.
We do. We really do. And it's exciting and fun to bring you here and everybody here, all your racers. This is something that we don't get to do all the time. So when you're here, it should be a fun time. And the weather, I said it in the beginning, and it held.
Yeah, we scored. We scored on the weather. This is as good as it gets.
No question.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to say? Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Absolutely. I'd love to be back again.
Oh, I would love to have you back next year, 2019.
I'm already looking forward to it.
We're on it. Carrie, thank you so much for you and all of your crew.
You're awesome.
All right, we're going to have our award ceremony in about a half an hour.
Yep, sounds good.
As usual, we're going to ask everyone as they're clearing the beach, if you see any garbage there, anything out of place, please pick it up. Take it with you.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. We're going to wrap things up for our wonderful audience that's followed all weekend long from around the globe.
I'll tell you what, Rick Lake,
Kurt Nolenberg.
We've had a lot of fun over many years in this sport. But I got to say, this weekend,
this is a good one.
It's on the calendar as one of the top 47.
Well said.
Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I'm very sincere when I say I love it here. This has been great. Of course, the weather, as Carrie mentioned, absolutely spectacular. We're talking 70s degrees and the breeze blowing off Lake Michigan right into our face. We were treated all weekend to a wonderful time, Kurt.
Every single thing that happened this weekend was spectacular. And frankly, I just don't want it to end. Let's do it again.
Either. And the racing was great. We saw some great racing, as always, on the Pro Watercross Tour.
Always.
And we got a couple of weeks to go, and we're going to be down in Georgia.
I'm looking forward. Lake Hartwell, they've always received us well. Great group of riders down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lot of friendly people coming to watch the races. If you're watching online, you've got some vacation, head on down to Hartwell, Georgia, then hang around for a week and come with us over to Charleston for the national championships.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Kurt. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right. Rick Lake, Kurt Nolenberg, we're out of here.
located in southeastern Wisconsin. Come discover the real Racine County. Plan your visit today at realracine.com.
Don't you know the race is over? What are you watching, eh?